All right, so as long as everything is working the way that it should be working, we are now live. So hello and welcome to everyone who is watching the Written in Melanin channel. Wherever this statement has found you, I'm so glad that you are here. My name is Chelsea and I write books about black girls who aren't all that nice. So if you are here watching, thank you for your patience. Time management is not always my thing, you guys, and I was a little bit behind schedule. But we are here. We're going to be productive, and it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a beautiful day. So let me know what you guys are going to be working on during our sprints, and shout out to Ben and La who are in the chat. Hello, welcome, thank you for being here. And yeah, as for me, I am still working on Project Necromancer. I know this is the final NaNoWriMo sprints. I am here for support of you guys because there's absolutely no way that I'm winning NaNoWriMo. I think I have like a total of maybe like 7,000 words for this month, possibly. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because a lot of this month has been spent with me like, whatchamacallit, just like actually studying the craft of writing. And I think that's part of the reason why NaNoWriMo is always so difficult for me, is because the end of the year is kind of when I'm like slowing down and like revamping and like evaluating my craft or whatever. And I'm not like actively writing like I am in the beginning of the year and during the middle of it. So I don't know. But I've been reading, what is this book? Plot your story from the middle, write your story from the middle, something like that. It's by James Scott Bell. And I know El Penelope mentioned it on one of her streams that she was doing for Nano. And I was like, oh, so I've actually been reading it and it's been super helpful, especially with like Project Necromancer, because I have been struggling for a while with this story, just trying to plot it out, because I'm not a plotter. I'm not a plotter, but I'm trying to like teach myself the skill in a way that it'll work for me. So that's what I've been working on, and it's kind of been interesting. We'll see how it works out once I actually start writing. But yeah. But that being said, like I said, let me know what you guys are working on. I'm going to give us until 10 minutes after the hour before we hop into our first sprint. Like I said, I'm going to struggle with the synopsis some more before I give up and work on finishing my blog post. Okay, sounds good. Synopses. I am literally of the mindset where it's just like, this happened and this happened and this happened. And then once you have those three main points, you just kind of add fluff to it. You know, at least that's how I did the synopsis, summary, blurb, whatever you want to call it for We Are the Origin. I was like, yep, she was a shadow. She was destruction. She was the wrath of the gods. And then I just kind of filled in the relevant information in between those 2 points. So I guess I need to work on the synopsis for Project Necromancer, but my goal is going to be to get to at least the halfway point of the book when I know I have like a clear ending in sight before I try to write the synopsis for it. Because I try to write it in the beginning, because I know some authors do that to like give themselves like a framework to work from. Love that for them. I am not that person. So we're going to see how that works out. But I did get my log line done yesterday for this project, and I'm really excited about that because I feel like I have been going back and forth a lot. And so now I feel like I actually have something solid to work with, and I like it. I like it a lot. Also, Cameo is here. Hello, welcome. I hope you are doing well. Feel free to let us know what you are working on. So yeah, also, I had the timer up in previous sprints from Dabble, but we're not doing that today because I actually need the notes section because I'm trying this new thing called plotting. So I'm using some of Dabble's tools and software to do that. So the timer is a regular 30-minute timer. It doesn't make any noise, but that's okay because if y'all been on the channel, that's what y'all are used to. So that being said, it's 10 minutes after the hour, so we're going to go ahead and get into this first sprint, be as productive as we can today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. The way this works is we do 30-minute sprints with short breaks in between. There will be chill hop in the background, and my timer does not make a noise. This one doesn't anyway. So when you hear me talking to you again, that means it's time to come back and share with the class what you have accomplished. So that being said, we're going to get into this first sprint. Cameo said, working on chapter 13 of rewrites. Good luck. I hope they go well for you. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into this. And I will talk to you guys in 30 minutes. All right, you guys, that is it for that first sprint. So let us know what you did, how you did, all of that good stuff. It is 11:42 my time, so we are going to break until the top of the, not top of the hour, until 50 minutes after. So you have about 8 minutes, if my math is correct, to stretch, breathe, drink some water, do whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. But yeah, shout out to Shams, Rachel, Joanne, RC Scott, Fred just came in, Margaret just came in. Hello, welcome. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hope that you are able to be productive. As for me, I got 459 words in that first sprint, so feeling pretty good. It's one of those things where I'm like, I know that plotting helps because like I have my notes up or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I've already thought about this. Like I kind of have something to fall back on to get this done. Also, the yard guy is here, so if y'all hear him, sorry, but it's fall. There are a bunch of leaves everywhere, so he's got the leaf blower, so hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, all that to say that it's kind of nice to have like the notes here to be like, oh, this is where I'm going with this. This is what I was thinking. So I kind of feel like it might be in my best interest to kind of like, instead of trying to like plot the whole story at once, to just kind of plot 1 or 2 chapters at a time. That way it's still accurate to what I was thinking when I wrote it. But we'll see. We'll see. I feel like I'm making progress though, and that feels really nice. It feels really nice. Let's see here. Rachel said, I got the intro and outro for my streams done. Whoop whoop. Love that. Now I'm looking for holiday/magical music. Good luck. I've been using Chill Hop or whatever. They actually have like a separate website that you can use for music, but I don't know if that'll actually help you with the holiday thing. So good luck with that. I hope you are successful. Let's see here. Ben said, very productive sprint. Got a good amount of work done. Awesome. Love that this is helping you. La said, I worked on my thingy. Getting some feedback on it now. And man, I hate this thing. I'm going to get it eventually. Don't get me wrong, but I am annoyed. Fair. Honestly, synopses are hard. I feel like they're one of the things where it's just like, once you have it, once you nail it, it's like, okay, you got it. And honestly, I feel like the first one that you write, like for like a true book, is always the hardest one. After that, you kind of get a sense of like how you want to do it, and it's not as bad, because I know for me, writing the synopsis for We Are Dying Gods was not nearly as hard as it was for We Are the Origin. So I think it's also something that it gets a little bit easier with time. So yeah. Also, did you submit it to the whatchamacallit? To the author council? Or did you send it somewhere else? Now I'm curious. Sorry. Checking my phone because the doorbell was like, oh, someone's here. I'm like, oh, it's the art guy. It's the art guy. So yeah. Let's see here. Cameo said, I just started getting into the flow of things again and really enjoying this chapter. Whoop, whoop. I'm glad. You know what I found? I found that when you really enjoy the chapter that you're writing, it's a lot easier. And I found that what I'm learning, rather, with this project in particular is that if I am not having fun writing the chapters, then I'm probably veering off, which I think is why I struggle with plotting in the first place, is because I'm like, I just want to have fun with it. But I'm realizing there has to be some type of balance to, okay, I want to have fun with it, but it also needs to make sense. And I'm learning with this plotting thing that, oh, you can do both. The plot should also be fun. So it's interesting. I feel like it's so crazy, because I feel like I'm like, oh, I got this. Like, I've learned something. I got this in my bag now. It's in my little bag of tricks that I can pull from. But then I start pulling from the bag of tricks and I'm like, oh, I still have so much more to learn. I still have so much more to grow. And it's kind of cool because I like knowing new things. I like learning. I like getting better at my craft. But at the same time, I'm just like, yo, I really thought I had this on lock. I really thought I knew that what I was doing, and I don't. And I don't. Like, I do, but I don't. So, yeah. Take that for what you will, but yeah. And Fred's like, plot gang. Yo, I'm trying to be in this plot gang. I'm really trying to be a plotter, because the way there are so many things with this third book in the trilogy coming up where I'm just like, yo, I'm going to have to go back and read these books to make sure that everything lines up the way that I need it to line up, because I didn't plot it. Like, I was just like, this is just what's happening. Like, I was telling Ben, I was like, y'all be surprised when y'all read these books. I'd be surprised too. We on this journey together. And so I'm trying to fix that with Project Necromancer, because I am torn. This series is either going to be 2 books or it's going to be 4 books. And I'm leaning towards 4, but I also know how I write. And so I'm like, I don't know. But I feel like in my heart of hearts, in my spirit, this is going to be 4 books. And so I'm just like, okay. Okay. So I'm like, if I'm going to have 4 books and I know how long I write, I know that all these books are not going to be any less than 110,000 words. And that's like on the small side. So I'm like, I have to plot this out. All of this cannot live in my brain. And so I've been like playing around with different tools and practicing different things and like basically upping my game, because I also realized the other reason that I have really struggled with plotting is because I never really, I don't say tried, because I did, but I never really understood how it was supposed to work for me, the way that it needed to work for me in order for me to actually use it in a way that was going to work for me. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I realized I'm the type of person where I need to be able to like reference what I wrote while I'm writing it, and it needs to be accurate to what I'm actually trying to write and fit the narrative. So my notes are less like, oh, this needs to happen, and it's more like, this is what the reader is going to get out of this scene. And that makes more sense to me, because I'm like, it leaves more freedom for how I'm going to present it, but I know what needs to happen plot wise. I know what the reader needs to get from it. And I'm just like, oh, this makes more sense. I don't know if that made any sense to y'all, but hopefully it did. And I'm enjoying being on this journey of like figuring out how to plot. So that's kind of where I'm at. Let's see here. Already said I have chill hop for the regular music and also some others, but this is just intro, outro. So yeah, like 20-second clips. Got you. Miranda's Cauldron is here. Rita H. Hello. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. I'm planning on finishing another chapter this morning and crossing the 50K words. You got this. I believe in you. I want all of y'all who tackled Nano to win it. So please know that I'm rooting for you. Okay, last night she did drop it off the cancel. I will check that out. Yes, the first couple drafts were establishing the main fun, and now I'm adding in fun sprinkles. Love that. Joanne said, worked on my reverse outline for Project Sugar and Spice. Yeah, reverse outlines are also super helpful, I'm realizing. Like, I feel like I have my, like, main outline that I'm putting together, but then I feel like I'll also have a reverse outline of, like, what actually happened. I don't know. We'll see how that works out by the end. Let's see here. Okay. It is now 50 minutes after the hour, so I'm not going to keep talking. We are going to go ahead and get into this next sprint. So if you're just joining us, hello, welcome. Hope you're going to be productive. The way this is going to work is 30 minutes on the clock, chill hop in the background. My timer does not make a noise, so when you hear me talking to you again, it is time to come back and share with the class what you have done. So hope you guys are successful, and I'm going to go off camera for a little bit so I can get up and stretch up out of this chair. But yeah. Hope you guys are successful and talk to you in 30 minutes. So good luck, everyone. Okay, you guys, that is it for that sprint. Hopefully the timer just went off because I for sure was not paying attention. So come on back, let us know what you did, how you did, all of that good stuff. As for me, I gotta do a little mathing, just a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, I got 206 words that time. I am making my way through the scene, not quite at 1,000 words in the scene yet, but that's okay. I kind of spent the first half of this responding to the author council, so hopefully my thoughts were appreciated, but we will see. We will see. So yeah, also I am trying to keep track of my sprints. So excuse me while I write that down. But yeah, let me know what you guys did, how you did, all that good stuff. I feel like I am making significant progress with this scene, actually. It's kind of wild because I'm like, oh, like I feel like this scene is just kind of like flowing the way I want it to. It's a little bit more descriptive than what I was used to, but I'm just kind of like, well, I wouldn't say it's more descriptive. The thing is, I'm one of those people where I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. Like, we all have imaginations. I try to give enough without being too much and to focus on what needs to happen. But then with this scene in particular, I'm like, no, this needs to be described so that when we get to the point where this character is interacting with other characters, like their logic and their conversation and how they're thinking makes sense. If that makes sense. So I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna let this be what it is. And I'm like, if I need to cut it down later, we'll do that. But normally speaking, I am a massive underwriter and I usually have to go back and add things. So hopefully it's not too much, but we will see. It's also interesting because I think this is the first time in like a draft that I've actually written this story out of order. So I already know where I've already written the chapter that comes after this one. So I'm going back to write this one in between. So that also feels kind of weird, but it's also completely different because with this particular story, it's told in multiple perspectives, but those perspectives aren't connected in the beginning, which is the opposite of how it is in the Wrath of the Gods series. So in Wrath of the Gods, the two main characters, Brandy and Sarah, they are together for most of book 1 and part of book 2. So when they get their separate perspectives, their personalities and stuff are already set. But this book is different because the two perspectives have not met yet. So I feel like I'm rambling, but it's interesting for me to just kind of be like, oh, okay, like this is a completely different experience altogether from the Wrath of the God series. I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm learning a lot from it, but it's also just like it's different. Like it's completely different. Even though like the system and how I write isn't necessarily like completely different, the system that I'm using is different. So there's that. Also, before I forget, this is your reminder in case you're not actually watching this and you're just listening to it. This is your reminder to stretch, breathe, drink some water, get some fresh air, do whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. The next sprint is going to start 30 minutes after the hour. So you have about 4 minutes to get yourself together before we hop into that next sprint. So yeah. Also, for those of you who have Macs and Apple ecosystem, all that good stuff, Cameo shared that there's this, I guess, app or program called Freeform as part of the Apple ecosystem, and you can sketch, type, add in graphics, do all those fun things. That sounds to me like a lot like OneNote. So if you are like, oh, that sounds great, but I don't have Apple, OneNote is basically the exact same thing. I use OneNote for like all of my stories, and you can do the same thing. You can draw in it, you can sketch. It's like an infinite notebook. Do all those things, and it's also free. So get into it, whichever way you need to. Apple, Microsoft. If you use Linux, I cannot help you. I don't know nothing about that. So good luck. That being said, let's see here. La said, your thoughts were 100% helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I am always nervous about giving feedback no matter how often I do it, because I'm just like, hopefully this is helpful. I never want to be that person where it's just like, you know what? I hear you, but this is not actually very useful. So thank you, but no thank you. But I'm glad that it was helpful. So yeah, honestly, y'all, it's crazy because lately, as of late, I have been really in this mood of like, I don't want to be perceived by people. So if you guys follow me on socials or you're signed up for my newsletter, then you'll know that I have not been very active this month in November. I will not be active in December either. I'm taking the rest of the year off to just kind of like mentally recover before I have to get into everything that is the new year and everything that comes with that. Working on a lot of projects to kind of get things moving. So like work is being done, but it's being done, I'll say quietly. Like I'm not talking about it, if that makes sense. And that feels kind of weird, but it also feels really nice to be like, yeah, I'm not going to pressure myself to make a TikTok, or I'm not going to pressure myself to make content because I don't know. It's different. And also I have found that not pressuring myself is also really conductive to me actually getting work done on my stories. So I'm in this weird space of like trying to find the right balance for it. But I'll have to say that this stream has been really helpful because I feel like I'm actually getting a lot done. And it's crazy because sometimes I don't get a lot done on stream because I feel like I have to be here writing. But right now I just feel like, okay, let's like get this ball rolling. Let's get this done. So yeah, I don't know. Very, very interesting energy. Maybe it's because I'm not wearing a hat today. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Who can make sense of my brain? I can't. Anyway, it is almost 30 minutes. The anti-content era. Honestly, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's anti-content. But only for a little while longer. But it is now 30 minutes after the hour. So we are going to go ahead and get into this next sprint, you guys. This is going to be our third one, but I honestly do not know how long I'm going to be sitting here sprinting today. Because like I said, I'm feeling productive. So we may be here for a while. Hope you guys are here for it. That being said, let's go ahead and get into this. Y'all know how this works at this point. 30 minutes on the clock. Chill hop in the background. My timer does not make a sound, so when you hear me talking to you again, it's time to come back and let the class know what you did, how you did, all of that good stuff. So, hope you guys are productive, and I will talk to you in 30 minutes. Good luck. Happy sprinting. All right, you guys, that is it for that sprint. So come on back, let us know what you did, how you did, all of that good stuff. As for me, I have to do some quick math, I think. But let's see here. Let's see here. All right, I got 167 words that time. But I also had to like get up and walk around a little bit, take my own advice, stretch, breathe, drink some water. I did not go outside and get some fresh air, but also that's not a bad idea if you're into that kind of thing. But there we go. I did cross over the 1,000 word mark for this chapter, so whoop whoop for that. And I do think I'm coming up on the end of this scene, and I'm excited because the next one has a character in it that I'm really looking forward to writing and seeing how she comes across on the page. So it's also kind of interesting because I'm looking at like my notes for this, and I was just like, this has taken a slightly different turn than I thought it would, but that's okay. That's okay. This is why we adjust. Also, shout out to Jess, who came in while we were sprinting. Hello, welcome. Hope you're thriving. Well, I said outside's dangerous. Bring Ben with you if you go. I'm not going outside. That is not the plan. I will open a window if I need fresh air, or I will get in the car, drive it out the garage, and then crack a window from there. Right? We don't go outside directly. Not here. Nah, that's not in the plans. But but that being said, though, yard guy did come, so it is like nicer outside, if that makes sense. But I think I'm good inside. I'm good indoors. I'm an indoor girly, so we're gonna stick with that. But yeah, let me know how you guys did. Next sprint starts 10 minutes after the hour. So you have about 7 minutes to, like I said, get up, stretch, drink your water, step outside, do whatever it is, get some food if you need to, do whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. As for me, I actually had breakfast this morning, which was nice. So I made some overnight oats, had that. I had my matcha latte. I have my water here. So I'm actually taking very good care of myself today, which is kind of surprising, but I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. As for the story, like I said, I feel like it's coming along. I'll have to run it by my PFP and the author council, but hopefully they like it. I like it. And it's an interesting feeling because it's not like I don't normally like my writing. It's just like normally when I'm writing, I'm usually like, oh, I'm going to have to come back and add description. I know I'm going to have to come back and add detail. So it's just kind of nice to be writing it and be like, no, I think this is good. Like, I think this is solid. It's just a very interesting feeling. And then also, I guess with the plotting, to kind of know exactly where I'm going from here and not just have a vague idea. And I think it's one of those things as well where it's just like, you know, like how they say when like you're talking about like cognition and stuff like that, how your brain basically is like a computer and you only have so much like working memory. So it's kind of interesting to have the things that I need to remember for what's coming up written down. So I have more working memory for what I'm actually writing. It's a very interesting like scenario. And I'm like, oh, this is why people do this. This is why people do this. And it's nice. And I'm like, it's kind of the same feeling that I had when I started. I saw on like some YouTube video was where someone was basically like, I think it was Ali Abdaal actually. And I think he was basically like, your brain is not set up to remember all of the things that we try to force it to remember. So it's like, oh yeah, I'll remember that, you know, I have to do this in a week. It's not a big deal. I don't need to write it down, right? It's like, yeah, you do need to write it down because your brain's not going to remember. And I feel like actually doing that with my story where it's like, no, go ahead and write it down. Like, this is the motivation behind this character. It's not something that you need to remember. And for the longest, I was like, oh, well, if it's important, I will remember it because it'll be an inherent part of this character, right? But I'm realizing that as I write more stories, as I'm working on more stories, I'm thinking about stories outside of this one because it worked pretty well for the Wrath of the Gods series because that was the only story that I was writing for both book 1 and book 2. But now that I'm working on something different, and I also still have all the information for Brandy and Sarah and all the characters in the Wrath of the Gods, but I also have like a full cast of characters for Project Necromancer, and then I have a whole other series that I'm working on in the background that I haven't even started writing yet. It's like, no, these things, even though they're inherent to the character, I still need to write them down. I still need to write them down. So that frees up a lot of working space. And it's very cool. It's very interesting. And I'm like, okay. And so now I'm of the mindset that I'm like, I wonder if authors who start out as pantsers, the more that they write, if they naturally become plotters over time, just to keep everything straight. I wonder if it's like a natural progression type thing, even if you don't start out that way. Right? Because it's very rare to see an established, successful author be like, yeah, I'm a pantser. I never write anything down. Right? And so I'm like, I wonder if this is just like a natural progression of things. Like the more you write, the more you become used to the system and more you create a system for yourself, the more you try to find systems that work for you. Or if it's just the thing of you like literally have your pantsers and your plotters. I don't know. I'm curious. But let's see here. Cameo said, I needed to stretch and send some emails, but I'm back for the next one. Awesome. Glad you are back. I don't know how long I'm going to be here today, you guys. Like, I really feel like super motivated. There are a couple of things that I have to do today. But I really feel motivated to like get this chapter done. Like I want to get it done because like I said, I've already written the chapter that comes after this. So I can't send it to Ben or the author council until I write this one because I want them to read it in chronological order. So I'm like, I want to get this done today so that I can sleep on it and clean it up tomorrow and they can have it over the weekend. That's what I would like to do, but we will see. There are things that have to be done today. So yeah. Let's see here. Law said things are coming together for me as well. Awesome. Slowly, but it's working into something. Positive thoughts. Love that. Cameo said, love that feeling. Having confidence in your work as you're working feels so good. It does. It really does. And it's like I said, it's not that I've never felt this before. It just feels different because I feel like it's organized chaos at this point. And that's such a weird way to put it because it's not as nearly as chaotic as it used to be. But like, I feel like I have such a much higher grasp on the world building, the gods, how the story is going to come together, what needs to happen, than I did when I started We Are the Origin. And I feel like it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm really proud of We Are the Origin. It's a really good book, right? It's a really good book. So is We Are Dying Gods, if I do say so myself. I highly recommend that you get into them. But it's also one of those things where I'm like, oh, I'm growing in this process. Like, I'm growing as a writer. I can see the difference already between Project Necromancer and The Wrath of the Gods. And I feel like it's getting better. And that's kind of wild to say, but it's also like, that's a good thing, right? It's like, the more you write, the better you should get at it, right? So yeah. Well, I said, I've noticed that too. Whatever you write, make sure it's not only on apparently non-sticky sticky notes. Yeah, I'm sorry you lost a sticky note. But you know what? To be fair, I have lost a ton of stuff over the years where I was just absolutely sure that I was like, I know I wrote it in this notebook. I know I wrote it somewhere. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. I'm like, it's not in the text messages that I sent to myself. It's not in OneNote. It's not in the Notes app. It's not in Google Keep. It is not in any of my dozen notebooks. It is nowhere to be found. I'm like, this is not fair. This was a brilliant idea. Where did it go? Where did it go? So I feel for you and your sticky note. I do. Let's see here. Cameo said, I started creating a note section at the beginning of each chapter so that while I'm writing, when I think of something that would work in another chapter, I put it in this note section. Yeah. Keeping notes is wild. It's crazy. Because like I have a section in OneNote for it, but I've actually started using Dabble tools because that's what I draft in. And I'm just like, oh, this is crazy. This is really helpful. I hate it because I'm like, why did I know this earlier? But I'm also like, this is great. This is wonderful. I love this. This is fantastic. So that being said, you guys, it is now technically 11 minutes after the hour. So we're going to go ahead and get into this next sprint. I think this makes sprint number 4. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. We're going to be here until we don't want to be here anymore. Right. So at this point, you guys know how this works. 30 minutes on the clock. Chill hop in the background. My timer does not make a sound. So when you hear me talking to you again, it's time to come back and let everyone know what you did, how you did, all of that good stuff. So that being said, happy sprinting, you guys, and I will talk to you in 30 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, that is it for that sprint. So come on back, let us know what you did, how you did, all of that good stuff. So we have about 7 minutes before we hop into this next sprint. If we're going to do another sprint, you guys let me know. We have done a couple and I've been on here for about 2.5 hours. So let me know if you guys want to do another sprint or not, or if you're ready to call it. But as for me, I have to do some mathing. So give me a second. Let's see here. Okay, I got 401 words that time. I am approaching 1,500 words in this scene, which is about right for where I was thinking the scene would end off. I am very close to finishing it up. So, loving the progress that I am making with that. And like I said, I have a very clear idea of what's coming up next. So, feeling pretty good. I may take a break and call it here for right now so I can do some other things. But another part of me is also like, I'm making good progress. So I kind of want to keep making progress until I can't anymore. So we'll see. Let me know how you guys feel. But let's see here. I was really into the dialogue and forgot the timer. Same. I looked up and I was like, oh, timer stopped. We need to come back. So hopefully you guys are finding this as helpful as I am. I don't know. I'm really getting stuff done today. Like I love this for me. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm glad that you guys are also getting things done. That makes me happy. La said, I did work things and thought about my thingy more. I also read some other synopses from other books to get more ideas, just searching for inspiration at this point. That makes sense. I have found that as an author, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is just to look at what other people did and then kind of go from there. Because honestly, like, to me, right, it's like, if all these other people have followed a format that works, there are definitely some cases where it's like, yeah, break the rules, do something different. But with something like a synopsis or like a summary that's going to go on the back of the book, like, I'm very much a proponent of like, do what works. Like, don't make more work for yourself, right? Because the goal is for the people who are going to read it, to get them to read the book. And the people who aren't going to read the summary just aren't going to read the summary. So no need to reinvent the wheel. But Ben says that I should keep going while I feel up to it. So I might. But I don't know. How do you guys feel? I may call it here so that I can take a break, get a snack, and kind of go from there. But we'll see. We got about 4 minutes before I have to make that decision. So you guys let me know how you are feeling. And yeah, that'll definitely play into it. All that being said, though, like I said, I'm feeling really good about this. I'm feeling good about this chapter. I'm feeling good about this story. There's still some things that I feel like I want to get nailed down, like for sure. But I feel like getting the log line together yesterday helped out a lot. I don't have it memorized perfectly just yet. I got to work on that. But basically the log line for the book is two necromancers separated by a millennium must face each other in a holy war to take over the world. So that is what Project Necromancer is about. Hopefully, if it sounds interesting, you'll stay tuned for all the things that are coming. But yeah, like I said, you're right. I will have to jump off here in a bit to go to lunch, so I won't be able to do another sprint, but get all the things done. I believe in you and your progress. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. But yeah, I think I may call it here. Get up, make some lunch, just take a break in general, and then get back to this. Like I said, there are a couple of other things that I do need to get done today, so I may do that and come back to it. We will see. But yeah, so this is it for this stream. I will say thank you guys for sprinting with me. If you've hung out and made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't already, go ahead, tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, so you don't miss when I go live again. And yeah, there are links and everything down in the description box. So if you're interested in my books, if you're interested in what I do at all, there are links to everything down in the description box. So click away, have fun. And yeah, I will be back. I don't know. I was going to say next Thursday. I might be back next Thursday. We'll have to see how that works out. But I will be going live again before the end of the year at some point. So make sure you guys hang around for that. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for being here. And until next time, you guys, I hope your days are lovely and your books are interesting. Bye, you guys.